A small short story, another one. Where I was working a long time ago, we had a foreigner as a boss, and one of us decided to ask for advance. But advance used to be given for emergencies. I've got an accident, I've lost someone, I've developed an illness, something that is not really in your path. So this gentleman put in an advance, and of course you put in the reason. And he says, my wife has just given birth at Insambia Hospital. So this foreigner walks into the office and says, can I have a meeting, 5 minutes? Can someone define for me advance, what we meant by giving you advance? So everyone's saying, yeah, when you have a problem that you have unforeseen, an accident. So he says, is your wife being pregnant for the last 9 months an accident? You even know the month she's supposed to give birth? If your wife had got a miscarriage at 6 months, 3 months, that is called an emergency because you're expecting her to go all the way 9, but she stopped at 3. So maybe if you were saving, you were planning on saving for 9 months, but all of a sudden at 3, you need emergency money. And this guy got this paper and tore it in front of us and said, that's not an emergency. For the last 9 months, you have known your wife is pregnant, first of all. And 2, she has to give birth. It's not like she's going to be pregnant for the rest of her life. And the guy walked out. For the first 5 minutes, all of us were saying, how dare he? Like, what do these people think? But later when people started talking about it, I said, but really, 9 months?
Yeah, but really.
This man is right. And actually, the gentleman who had asked for that advance, he started laughing about it. Like, he also realized that, really, like, yeah, she's been pregnant for 9 months. So some of us are putting ourselves in those tight situations because of a bad mindset. If you know your wife is that's why people plan and say, even in 2 years, we're going to give birth to, in 2 years, let's give birth to 3 kids. They even plan for it. They even say, wife, stop working. Me, I'll go work. You take care of the kids. When they get to like school age, go back. Now, that's not an accident. But that now is mental. Are you ready for it? That's why people take on certain tasks and they say, well, I'm going to do a PhD. And they're saying, but you don't even have money to pay for your child's fees. Why are you taking on a PhD? And they plan. Meet people who do PhDs. They go to talk to universities. For 2 years, they're just trying to find a way of it. And later they finish this PhD and you're saying, did she just finish? It's mental. If you never change your mindset. And lastly, mindset cannot happen in a day. That's why we ask people to have the opportunity and talk to you. Counselors don't only talk to people when they're in problems. That's something people think. When someone says, talk, get a mentor. Now, do I have a problem? Get a counselor. No. It's like having a very good friend who will just advise you and say, do not do this. Have you thought of this before you make that? So sometimes let's not wait to go to those people when you are really in problems. Look for advice. Find out why someone is doing well compared to you. You started off all together. Why are they doing better? How come they survived COVID and yet their business also closed and right now they are back on their feet? And they may be back on their feet, but not because they're actually doing well. But mentally they've decided, I will wake up every day in the morning, walk to town, and then when I get to this place, that's when I get a border. I talk to Helen, go back. If I have dust, I will shower with washing soap. Who cares what is in your bathroom if there's bathing soap and washing soap? How many of us get to town when we have used washing soap? Does it paint itself here that today I used washing soap? Those are the little things that most of us keep thinking, oh my God, I need to borrow money. I don't have washing soap. Have you ever been in an interview and someone says, good morning. Did you use washing soap or bathing soap? When you say washing soap, okay, get out. Ladies and gentlemen, mentally, may I have showered washing soap. By the way, a little secret. Well, people think we have good skins. Half the time, I use more natural soaps than the ones which are complicated. So I've never stressed over soap. That one I haven't. I go to a point. Even if you told me right now that, yes, you're saying that because you have a good skin. No. I'm just giving an example of soap. So for you, if you're using a complicated soap because you need to deal with skin, fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But can you balance it out and say, if I'm buying expensive soap, let me buy a cheap watch. It all tells time. No one should ever deceive you that a Rolex steals faster time compared to a Casio. Forgive me. But it is mental. So when you walk in a room and you're wearing a cheaper watch, the employer will be asking, what value are we bringing for me? Because, yeah, they know you have a good watch, but how do I make money here? How does my company grow? So mentally is the only way someone can actually change. If that is in your way, you can't get where you're going, regardless of what you're thinking of getting.